Over the last 20 odd years, the fishery has been managed very much for the fishermen and not enough for the fish, not enough for habitat. So my goal really is to try and create here an environment where wild fish can thrive. Yes, we're going to continue stocking, but by creating that wild fish habitat, we hold the stocked fish better and we create a better environment for all the riverine wildlife on the estate. And as a wildlife nut, I think that's the best thing we can possibly do here.
We're on obviously the banks of the Kennet here, and the Kennet is, for me, it's my favourite chalk stream. I suppose largely due to the fact I've grown up on the banks of the Kennet, and I went to school on the banks of the Kennet a bit further upstream, and it's just the variety of water we have here on the Kennet is absolutely fantastic. Even here at Barton Court, we've got about 3 miles of fishing bank. It actually splits out into 2 rivers, and then those 2 rivers then split out again into 2 further rivers. So we actually have a huge variety of water here, from sort of long sort of glides through to much faster riffly water. So for your day fishing here, there's huge amounts of water to cover and lots of different varieties of water as well, which just makes it a bit more interesting, a bit more exciting for your day's fishing. We're very lucky to have an opportunity here to develop the fishery, particularly with respect to wild fish and wild trout in particular. What we're trying to promote is a better habitat for the wild fish. As we go around the river, you'll see where we've improved the habitat, which will hopefully encourage wild trout to spawn, better gravel beds for the trout. We put in a few pinch points, a few hinges, which speeds up the flow, clears out the gravel. And hopefully, it's the start of a long project, but over the next few years we'll start to see a better head of wild fish developing, and hopefully the estates upstream and downstream of us will follow suit, or in Venice they're all doing their own great work, but the Kennet will become renowned as a fantastic wild trout fishery. I love catching the wild fish because that's Mother Nature at its best. There's some fantastic opportunities to target wild trout here, even small ones. And I'm happy to come down here with a lightweight rod, just a box full of clink hammers, and just target the little wild trout in the faster flows. There's a lovely little sort of gravel run down below us here, and the wild trout will devour little olives, little clink hammers, anything that comes over them, little elk-wing caddis. And it's just great fun, and they're just such beautiful fish, fin perfect. These wild fish are just sublime.
The changes in perception and taste are really quite noticeable, particularly in the last, I think, 4 or 5 years, where partly it's a younger group of anglers who are fishing the chalk streams now, and a much greater appetite for wild fish. And I think you can see that change, particularly on the Kennet. I would say that you can see that in the keepers too. There's a much younger crop of keepers coming through. There have been quite a few retirements and younger guys being taken on in the last few years. And I think the Kennet is going to benefit massively from that, because it's not just going to be me here doing my best to try and rewild it, if you like, but next door and next door. And that catchment-wide approach of just managing for the fish and managing for the environment means the anglers are going to have a better experience. More weed, more feed, fish feeding more confidently because they've got cover around them. If you see that all the way up and down the river, the Kennet's going to go from being kind of an overlooked chalk stream to the queen of the chalk streams. That's got to be our goal. If this isn't the best river, then we're not quite there yet. You'd find that up and down the river, that people are striving for that now, which is really exciting.